Quarterfinal number 4 for the women. We'll see two former Rookie of the Year winners battling it out for a spot in the semi-finals. The winner of this one taking on Courtney Conlog. Johanne Defay will be surfing in the red jersey. Tatiana Weston-Webb, the Hawaiian, will be in the blue.
Yeah, it really is like a left-handed player up against a right-handed player. Two totally different opportunities here.
Tatiana, decent first turn to get started. This wave starting to reel off without her. She's going to stick with it though and try and bank just a reasonable score to get this heat rolling. Really committing to this inside and wanting to get her board up into the lip there. And there'll be a little more for her on the inside closeout section there. She'll ride out of that move. So
she's just trying to get busy. Right here, I think in her head, she knows this is potentially not really an excellent score, but let's just put something on there. And that's the tricky part about Bell, as you can see, just a little hung up on that first maneuver, and it put her behind for that second section. So just a little snap here. But this is what I love about Tatiana. She is such a grinder. You know, she doesn't get kind of cruisy and just take her chances with catching waves. She says, you know what, I'm already on this wave. I might as well finish it off. Who knows? Maybe a 4.5 will make a difference. Make sure she landed her waves and didn't fall off.
As we see now, Johanne Defay on her first ride, a 4.67 from Tatiana Weston-Webb. Let's see what the surfer from Reunion Island can do. Johanne into the quarterfinals for a second event this season. And definitely threw down one of the moves of the year so far on the Gold Coast as Tatiana takes off out the back. She finds a pretty good little runner here. Some waves will move through the bowl and still stand up right through to the inside. And on her backhand, Tatiana's able to let go of some pretty decent moves from.
So this is what we're looking at right here. Just picking up the pace. Johanne Defay. Mistimed that just a little bit, but that's easy to do here at Bell's. Sometimes you have to force maneuvers. It doesn't really give you a chance. And you can see now the wave hit that deep water. So one pretty decent maneuver there. She got her board up in the pocket. She'd like to sell this on the inside to try and, you know, even just a half a point here. When you're in grind mode like they are right now, they're still waiting for those really big, perfect waves. You got to make it happen. Pretty clean finish there. Similar size wave here for Tatiana, but obviously you can see here on her backhand. So she kind of has to look over her shoulder. But if she gets a really sharp bottom turn, she can have a different angle of attack. A lot of times on your forehand, you're just kind of cutting back and leaning on those heels, and you wrap it around. On your backhand, you whip into it. You come up into the pocket at 12 o'clock. So it can look really exciting. It's an easy way to get big scores. And that's a good example right there, that finishing move, very crisp and vertical.
Boys, a good wrap up of the quarterfinals as we see Tatiana on a nice wall, just leaning into this first section. Solid turn to get started. This wave is tricky to surf with all that offshore wind. But this top 10 competitor knows how to finish these rides off. She works her way right through to the closeout, bashes that lip.
I don't think she got lazy with the wind. She was just trying to catch up to that swell, and she couldn't get there. And this is that nice, crisp opening snap from Tatiana. Really nice maneuver. So I think the judges will be happy with that first turn. The second one just okay, and now the swell is going to flatten out. So she's in just finish mode here, Ron. Trying to keep those rails clean. No dig rails. And another crispy little snap to finish, so she's starting to slowly pull away.
Out of this lineup. Decent looking set wave approaching here as we look on from the drone angle. But Tatiana takes the first wave in the set, has a lot of speed. She's going to find the open face and starts this ride with a big backhand carve. So this wave just providing a nice clean canvas. But Tatiana couldn't get that vertical approach to the lip, which she so often relies on for big numbers. And Johanne gets the second wave in the set. Face seemed a little bit more scooped out for Johanne, and there's a solid finish.
This is number 2. It had a nice pace on it. Just missed that first section though. She maybe could have even got a little barrel, but now the wave slows up. A little carb to open up with. Another cutback. So really she needs a strong finish. And she's going to push on that tail. And that was nice. I like how she torqued it at the end. Just enough flair to push that score much higher. Tatiana, this is the first wave of the set, so it's really fast. So she had to burn a lot of time getting around to the edge. By the time she got there, that wave had a big shoulder on it, so you can see just cutbacks. So just like Johanne, it's all about the finish. And obviously that offshore wind got the best of Tatiana.
She just fell short of moving into the lead. She got a 6.3. She was chasing a mid-range 7, but she's up once again here. And on the attack on a pretty clean wall on the inside. She bounces off the foam here. This wave rolling on through to the inside quite nicely. She's going to get a steep section to play with. Let's see if she pulls out one of those big reverses. She's going to go to the rail and a little bit tentative.
Letting go. And a couple of decent turns here, but not all the way on the money. Right there you can see she just skipped for a second, so she recovered. I like this one here. She torques it at the end. So good effort from Johanne. But right here you can see, you know, not a ton of excess speed, so she's just kind of weaving back and forth, waiting for the wave to, you know, give her something to do. And she chose to, you know.
I think she's always mentally there. Sometimes she could be out-surfed just like any of the competitors on the CT. As we see Johanne on a smaller wave, looking a little bit more comfortable on this ride. Rounding out some pretty nice maneuvers. 6.38 is the score. And she's not giving up on this one just yet. Trying to add points wherever she can. Let's see if she gets a bit more aggressive on the finishing move here. And she just catches a rail before driving into that bottom turn, but not enough time for Johanne to get back to the takeoff zone. Just 40 seconds on the clock as we watch the replay, and it's all going to ride on this wave.
Smaller wave, and that's going to really hinder her for getting a big score. But I like the surfing. Sometimes on smaller waves out here at the bowl, you can be more aggressive, get a little more rail in the water.
And she'll move up the ratings. Johanne Defay knocked out of the event. Tatiana Weston-Webb will take on Courtney Conlog in the second semi-final.